Hello and welcome to this continuing second look exploring session looking at Respublica. We did most of the play last time, but we didn't quite finish it. And we didn't quite have enough people in the room to make the final section bounce along. Just to warn you, as we go into the end of Act 5, we're going from Act 5, Scene 5, but there are certainly some people will be on at the same time as themselves, but I don't think they talk to themselves. But for anyone who is playing more than one character, there's two of you, there is that very slight possibility that you are talking to yourself, so just be careful there. Most of us are continuing roles that we continued last time, plus some new additions as well. So, joining us to read Misericordia is
My Lord in Northamptonshire.
Continuing as Respublica is
Sarah in The Hague.
Remembering to announce that they're reading Adulation is
Aliki in Athens.
Reading Insolence, and hopefully not at the same time, Peace is...
Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm in the northwestern United States.
Joining us to read Veritas is... Possibly not listening and or frozen. Ah, there he is.
Still muted.
He is frozen. He's
Muted at
There you go. Keith Hill in London, frozen.
Reading Oppression and Justice, hopefully not at the same time.
Is Connor here in London?
Reading The People today is...
Alan, the Suffolk yokel.
Yes, and I should just make it clear that The People is written in phonetic marmoset accent, so do not shoot the pianist. They're trying their best. And joining us to read Nemesis is...
Mark in the Midwest, United States.
And I'm your host, Robert Crighton. I will be reading Avarice. I don't read very often, but I occasionally do, because, it's fun. It's I usually let other people go. But not this time. Not this time. It's going to be me. So, without further ado, there may be some songs. I don't think there are any songs. I think there is a song. It's right at the end. We will mark songs, but we won't be singing any of them. And we'll be going from Act 5, Scene 5. So anyone not in Act 5, Scene 5, ta-ta. Well, yeah. Veritas, Respublica, and various of the women supporting Respublica have exited singing about the mercy of God, leaving Avarice and Adulation on stage. Such greedy, covetous folk as nowadays been, I trow before these present days were never seen. An honest man can go in no place of the street, but he shall, I think, with 100 beggars meet. Give, for God's sake, give for Saint Charity, give for Our Lady's sake, give for the Trinity, give in the way of your good speed, give, 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 give. Find we our money in the streets, do they believe? If I had not a special grace to say nay, I were but undone amongst them in one day. Who cometh yond? Honesty, he cometh in haste.
I seek policy.
Here, boy.
All is in waste.
How so?
We strive against the stream, all that we do.
Wherein?
That verity come not this place unto. For what do you want?
I shall when he hath spoke the word.
Justice and peace too, with full consent and accord are come down from heaven, and have kissed together.
God give grace that they twain also come not hither.
As mercy and truth sibi obviaverunt, so justitia et pax osculatae sunt.
Is it true? Are they come?
And have kissed together.
Then carry in a pace for fear of foul weather. Have they kissed together?
Yea!
Oh, what needeth that? Men should kiss women. And what point be they at?
All the four sisters, I do you to understand, have already taken Respublica in hand. They four progress with her in every border, and mar all that ever we have set in order.
And what doth Insolence, or what saith he to that?
He stampeth, he stareth, and snuffeth sore thereat.
I advise him to storm and show himself stout. They be women, and perchance may be faced out. And peace is an honest lady and a quiet.
Verity and justice are not for our diet.
Then mercy is a good one. I like her well.
Yet oft turneth she her face away, and will not mell.
Well, fall back, fall edge. I am once at a point, if Respublica come, to adventure a joint.
She is fresh and gay, and flourisheth, who but she?
Who brought it to such pass? Will I tell her but we? Or else, making these new ladies of her weary, we should triumph and reign.
Oh, never so merry.
Well, go to our company. I will remain here. I may perhaps see Dame Respublica appear. I will in hand with her and make a good face.
And what shall I do?
Give warning in the mean space that Insolence shrink not, but play the stout man.
That I know he will do, for once I know he can.
And that you all three be pressed to come hither. When need shall require, we lay our heads together. Why art thou here yet?
I am gone, with all my might.
Oh, and lo, where Respublica appeareth in sight. She is now at hand, her nymphs bearing up her train. I will stand aside and listen a word or twain.
Oh, Lord, thy mercies shall I sing evermore, which dost so tenderly thy handmaid restore. But what creature would suspicion have had that my late administers had been men so bad? Or who would have thought them counterfeits to have been, that had heard their words and their countenance seen? And chiefly Avarice, which did the matter break.
That word toucheth me. Now is time for me to speak.
I thought him policy, as just and true as steel.
I am glad that by me ye do such goodness feel.
And that my wealth did grow, as it hath grown of late.
I ever told ye you should grow to this estate.
Oh, tell me.
Yea, I told you so in very deed, and highly I rejoice it doth so well succeed, and salva festa dies upon you, madam. I am glad ye have got a new robe, so I am. What saint in the calendar do we serve today, that ye be so gorgeously decked and so gay?
In rejoicing that I shall be clean rid of thee.
Nay, by this cross, ye shall never be rid for me.
And of thy compeers.
Well, let them do as they lust. I will ride upon Jill, mine own mare, that is just. Otherways I shall do you service of the best.
Thou wicked wretch! Darest thou with me to jest?
What? I now see honores mutant mores, but as seemeth here, raro in maleriores.
Thee and all thy service I do from me exile.
Is that the high reward ye promised me erewhile? Is not this a wise woman and minded to thrive, that would me policy out of the country drive?
Thee and thy accomplices from me I shall outcast.
Then, I pray you, pay us for our pains that are past.
Ye shall be paid.
Once I have done the best I can, authority also he hath played the man. Reformation hath done his part, I can tell. If ye mistrust honesty, faith, ye do not well. And as for Avarice, he is conveyed quite. I bade him get him hence, or I would him indict. I, policy, have made him pluck in his horns. I swear I would else lay him on prickles and thorns, where he should take no rest, neither day nor night, so he had as lief be hanged as come in sight.
I may say with Job, how vainly do ye cheer me, when all the words ye give from truth doth disagree. And with the wise man I may most justly say this, Justitia tamen non luxit in nobis. Or else, with the prophet, in most sorrowful mood, the fruit of our justice is turned into wormwood. Well, the best of you is a detestable vice, and thou, for thy part, art most stinking avarice.
Jesu, when were you wont so foul-mouthed to be, to give such nicknames? In faith, Dame Verity, had you in schooling of late? Well, in God's name, I am sorry for you, sorry that I am. I wish I have wrought to set you in good state, and watched for that purpose both evening and late, and I wish, if you would abide my framing, and not thus to have fall to checking and blaming, I would ere long of you made such carpenter work, that ye should have said, policy had been a clerk. Nay, you would have seen how I would have you compact.
Yea, no doubt. You would have done some great and fine act.
I would have brought half Kent into Northumberland, and Somersetshire should have wrought to Cumberland. Then would I have stretched the county of Warwick upon tenterhooks, and made it reach to Berwick. A piece of the bishopric should have come southward. Tush, tut, I tell you, I had wondrous feats toward.
God hath placed me already in the best wise.
Yea, but yet not half so well as I could devise. But no force. Well, then, I see ye will none of me.
No.
Then ye be content? I depart from ye?
Yea.
Well, yet, and ye pray me, I will tarry still.
No.
Well, speak me fair, and woo me yet, and I will.
No. It's out.
Have I had of you such a clog, and now you bid me avaunt and make me a dog?
Hence, at once.
Nay, tut, and ye will have us.
Out of my presence.
Well then, ye will not have us?
No, avoid, I charge thee.
Then needs depart I must. Adieu, in faith. I would have served ye of trust, but since Respublica hath put me to exile, where may I go, keep myself secret for a while? Is there never a good chaplain in all this town that will for a while hide me under his gown? Never a good farmer, never a good merchantman? Well, I will go pick out some corner, if I can. But first will I monish my fellows of this gear, and we stay this plunge, I care not for the next year.
Now will I to justice, and to the other ladies 3, and pray that these vices may all suppressed be. But lo, here cometh people. I will now turn again, and first know of his good state by a word or twain. What? Standeth he prying? Dareth he not enter?
Should fain see my lady. Stare not enter.
Shrink not back from me, but draw to me, my dear friend.
She'll first know an ye be alone, so God me mend.
Come, he be none but thy friends, me believe.
Well then, she'll be so bold to peek in, by your leave.
How happeneth that thou hast so long been me fro?
Mary, she'll tell you. As soon as ye were go, there came a sort of cardinals, hard men and zore. They shake me up. 'Twas never so rattled afore. They fell all upon me, catch a word that might catch. Well, was it him that at me? People might get a snatch. Should have been at home rather than a new growth. If they said to you, it's feared pulling out my throat. But me pike me home and come at you no more. And if I did, then it's where should be corrupt therefore. So this proud orcup, what you call him?
Insolence.
Yeah, him the same. You better pop me to silence.
And how is it with you now? Better than it was?
All beginneth now to come gaily well to pass. Hear of your good fortune that goes about. How you've been promoted, which maketh us all proud. Now I am able since to buy a new coat, and I thank God, having my pass the silver growth. I wish it could have got so say these 6 years afore. Whoever caused it, I thank have they before.
They will be here soon. Abide you them here for a train?
Yes, plain in it. Would you have on a squat on non's brain?
They shall not do thee harm the value of a point.
And an you say, then word I shall jabber to join.
If they but offer thee wrong, they shall smart therefore.
Hey, would you be so good as to tie 'em up before? And what shall I say to 'em?
Nothing, but be abate, till take them all here suddenly, I may await.
Well, shall we do? Should laugh and both my hands clap to see rice pudding cakes envies taking a trap. And to see, pray, if some of them come not yonder, should my lady abide there a little so longer?
Where is Avarice? He doth not now appear.
He bid me admonish you that we might all meet here.
But see where people standeth.
What doth he here now?
About little goodness, I dare my word avow.
Let us speak unto him. People, wherefore and why, like a loitering lousel, standest thou here idly?
Thou comest to Respublica to make some moan.
Or else some complaint?
You'll see, I'm here alone.
You must have silver money, must ye, gentlemen? You can't be content with such coin as we can.
Ye must be born wood and coal, must ye, all of pleasance? But dern turves on some of their bide straw with a vengeance.
You must eat fresh meat, bought from the shambles, must ye? Eat garlic and onions and roots, or grass and lust ye.
In faith, I will whip you for this, peasant lout.
And twig you.
Ere another year come about.
See, where Avarice cometh, running very fast.
I have trod and scud till my wind is almost past. Oh, yet my mates are not where.
We be here.
Be here.
Come of late.
Come of late.
Be there not, trow we, honester men in Newgate.
No words of reproach, brother mine, I rade you.
None but Goddy God Eve, and Goddy God speed you. Fare ye well again, and ye be falling out now.
We mind it not.
'Twere more need to look about you.
How goeth all? Tell us.
My lady is waxed froward. Our names be all known, so there is a ray toward.
Oh, God speed
us well.
Once I am thrust out of service.
Alas, what may I do?
Tell us thy best
Tell us
advice.
the best advice.
Nay, I cannot have you when I should none of you all. Therefore shift for yourselves, each one for me you shall.
Nay, for the pash of God, tell us what best to do. You know I was never slack to restore unto you.
These ladies that are come for Commonweal's relief prepare to work us woe and do us all mischief.
Nay, by his precious populorum, I swear, not the proudest of them all can hurt me a hair.
If they offer of us to make them gauds or toys, they shall find, I trow, we are no babes or no boys.
To prevail against them with force I do despair.
Be that as may be.
I will fall to speaking fair, but of all this trouble, we may thank people, this wretch.
Faith, villain, if we scape, thou shalt an halter stretch.
But what remedy there while?
Faith, all will be naught.
Tell us what to do.
I will. They come. We are caught.
Whither shall I run?
Now, sing a song, Honesty.
I am past singing now.
Yes, one song, Honesty. Hey, 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 I will be merry as I may.
Here they be, all four. This is a happy chance.
Take each man a lady, sirs, and let us go dance.
I left people here for a train to hold them talk. Alas, that I could tell which way best hence to walk.
What be these fair ladies, and whither will they trow?
We attest you, sirs, all four, as you stand in a row, not so hardy in your hearts. Our arrest is gainsy.
Nay, we are content, if ye let us go our way.
No, not a foot. We must first your reckoning take.
I ne'er bought nor sold with you reckoning to make, nor I know not who you be.
Justice is my name.
Where is your dwelling?
In heaven, and thence I came.
Dwell ye in heaven, and so mad to come hither? All our huckling here is how we may get thither.
I bring heaven with me, and make it where I am.
Then, I pray you, let me be your prentice, madam. I will be at your beck.
Ye shall, ere we depart.
I would learn how to make heaven with all my heart, for... Well, as for Lady Misericordia, I remember I saw you with Respublica.
You, if you so please, may do much good in this land. Many at this hour do need your good helping hand.
And ye came down from heaven too, I judge?
Yea, sure.
Why, what folk are ye that cannot heaven endure? And what may I call you, lady?
My name is Peace.
You have dwelt long with us. We have been long in peace.
Call ye it peace, sirrah, when brother and brother cannot be content to live one by another, when one for his house, for his land, yea, for his groat, is ready to strive and pluck out another's throat. I will in all such things make perfect union.
Then good night. The lawyers gain by St. Tronian. Westminster Hall may go play, if that came to pass. Faith, we must serve you with a supersedious.
Well, leave vain prattling, and now come answer to me.
I must hear first what ye say, and who ye be.
I am Dame Verity.
What, the daughter of Time?
Yea.
I know that my master, your father, well a fine. Welcome, fair lady, sweet lady, little lady, plain lady, smooth lady, sometime spittle lady, lady long-tongue, lady tell-all, lady make-bait. And I beseech you, from whence are ye come of late?
I am sprung out of the earth.
What, ye do but jest.
The book saith, Veritas de terra orta est.
Happy is he which hath that hath that garden plat, I trow, out of which such fair blossoms do spring and grow. Yet this one thing I say.
What?
Ye are friend to few, pressed to open all things, and men's manner to show.
If ye be true and just, that is your benefit.
True or untrue, just or unjust, it is your spite, and glad ye are to take other folks in a trip. Yes, ye do it now and then, your own ship on the whip. Well, ye might be honest of your tongue, if ye would.
If your acts were honest, ye did but as ye should.
Who chargeth me with the crime of any vice?
Thou call'st thyself policy, and art avarice.
Nay, I defy your malice. I am policy. Ask of my fellows here. Am not I policy?
Ladies, will ye all see him openly tried?
If he be an ill one, let him be descried.
What hast thou in thy bosom?
Nothing, I truly.
Nothing truly got, say. Show it forth openly.
What should I show forth?
That bag in thy bosom hid.
It lieth well, I thank you, as much as though I did.
Nay, come on, out with it.
Lo, here 'Tis for your fancy.
Give it me.
Nay, I defy that policy.
Open it.
Yea, that each body might be catching some's teeth, I think, water e'en seems to be snatching.
We must needs see what it is.
'Tis a bag of rye.
Rye? What rye?
A bag of rye.
Such as men do eat?
A bag of rye flour, a great deal better than wheat.
Let us see what rye it is. Pour it out in haste.
Yea, shall I trow not, indeed, so might we make waste.
There is no remedy. Pour it out in my lap.
Nay, if there be no choice, I will use mine own cap.
So, a bag of rye, quod ye?
Yea, so got me speed.
Thou say'st even truth, 'tis a bag of rye indeed. Usury, perjury, pitchery, patchery, pilfery, bribery, snatchery, catchery, flattery, robbery, cloutery, botchery, trumpery, harlotry, misery, treachery.
There is too, and please you, a little sorcery, witchery, bawdry, and other such grocery.
How got'st thou all this in thy possession?
Pardon me, and I will make my confession. The world is hard, and the bag is but very small. I got it where I could, to go on begging withal. A plain, true dealing man that loveth not to steal, and I durst not be bold to crave of commonweal.
Now, do off thy gown, and turn the inside outward.
Let me alone, and an angel for a reward.
Come, off at once. When? Come off. No more gaudies nor japes.
Must I needs whip over chain like a jackanapes?
Out! In the virtue of God! What do ye here see?
All this had been lost, Respublica, but for me.
Oh, Lord! Where hast thou dragged up all these purses?
Where he hath had them for many thousand curses.
Where hast thou gotten them? Tell truth, and do not lie.
Where no honest man could have gotten them but I, in blind corners where some would have hoarded them, had I not taken them with a manner and burdened them.
And whither was it thine intent to convey them now?
I hid them that I might bring them safely to Yao. I durst not bear them openly, to God I vow. I wis ye have heard me blame pick-purses ere now, and this is all yours.
It is hers in very deed.
With suffrance I could get Mo to help her need.
How say ye, Respublica? Now to policy.
I ne'er suspect him, nor had him in jealousy.
In such like counterfeits shall all the rest appear. Sirs, do off your utmost robes, each one, even here. Now, what these are, ye see, plain demonstration.
Insolence, oppression, adulation. Oh, Lord! How have I been used these 5 years past?
I is ne'er thought better on itch, by God's fast. Madam, my lady, such strutioners as these have often made you believe the moon was green cheese.
Now ye see what they are. The punishment of this must be referred to the goddess Nemesis. She is the most high goddess of correction, clear of conscience and void of affection. She hath power from above and is newly sent down to redress all outrages in city and in town. She hath power from God, all practice to repeal, which might bring annoyance to Lady Commonweal. To her office belongeth the proud to overthrow, and such to restore as injury hath brought low. 'Tis her power to forbid and punish in all estates all presumptuous, immoderate attemptates. Her cognizance, therefore, is a wheel and wings to fly. In token, her rule extendeth far and nigh. A rudder eke she beareth in her other hand, as directrice of all things in every land. Then pranketh she her elbows out under her side, to keep back the heady and to temper their pride. To her, therefore, dear sisters, we must now resort, that she may give sentence upon this naughty sort. She knoweth what is fittest for their correction. Nemesis must therefore herein give direction.
Then, people, while we, Lady Nemesis, do fet all these offenders in this custody we set, them to apprehend and keep till we come again.
And ye give me charity, she'll keep 'em. That is plain.
Shall people keep us,
Keep us.
of whom we have been lords?
Stand still, by kiss, but she'll bind you fast with cords. Nay, sir, are ye now in my custody?
Mass, I will be gone for mine own commodity.
Soft, whither wilt thou? Wilt thou not be roiled? Stand still, skip-brained thief, or thy bones shall be coiled. Yon be they coming now, to what will tame ye. Ah, see, art thou gone too? Come back, and evil are thee.
Come forth, Respublica, our darling most dear.
At your word, most gracious lady, I am here.
Are these your trusty men that had you in government?
Skip-brains knolled be rolled ne'er since we went.
People, why art thou bashful and standest so far? Be of good cheer now, and I warrant thee, come near.
I will come no near. Shall not be held up with states. I cannot be efficient enough among me mates.
Come near when I bid thee.
But I not worthy to perk with you. No, am not.
Well, Respublica, are these your late governors, whom ye took for faithful and trusty counsellors?
Yea, forsooth, madame.
These three be, but I am none, for I was discharged nigh half an hour agone.
Come, first stand forth here, thou Adulation.
Speak a good word for me, Lady Compassion.
She shall not need. She'll speak for thee myself. Madam, take good heed, for this is a naughty elf.
Nay, madam, the cause of all this was Avarice. He forged us new names and did us all entice.
Whose oppression? I can't remember.
We neither did nor could work, but by his advice.
'Cause I got no more. He chid me once or twice.
Madam, only avarice made us to fall.
Yea, fall to preaching, nay, then will I tell all. Madam, ere I had taught these merchants any while, they were cunninger than I, all men to beguile. And verity saw mine were small purses and bags, tottering loose about me like wind-shaken rags. But he that should have bagged that Insolence did win, must have made a poke to put 5 or 6 shires in. He must have made wide sacks for castles, towns, and woods, and canvas to make them of were worth 10 times my goods. Then oppression here to feather well his nest, cared not of their livelihood whom he dispossessed. Deans, bishops, provosts, the poor folk from the spittle, lands with church and chapel, all was for him too little. Poor I did not sow, I scraped but little crumbs, and here and there with odd ends patch up my sums. Flattery got his thrift by counterfeit honesty, yet by these 10 bones I bid him use modesty. Therefore spare not him, he will ne'er come to good pass, but I may well be mended by the marry mass.
Lady Nemesis, now have you occasion and matter to show your commiseration. It is much more glory and standeth with more skill, lost sheep to recover than the scabby to spill.
But how shall this redress be well persecuted, if justice with mercy shall be executed? Straight justice must such great enormities redress. Severity must put men in fear to transgress. Justice must give each man that he doth deserve.
If offenders were not, wherefore might mercy serve?
Stick hard to it, good, sweet Lady Compassion. We are all else undone by Cock's bitter passion.
Verity, how say you? Have I not spoken well?
Mercy in one place with justice sometime may dwell, and right well agree together. How say you, peace?
Whereon things is well amended, I do increase.
Ladies, we have heard all your discreet advices, and each one shall have some part of your devises. Neither all nor none shall taste of severity, but as they are now known through Lady Verity, so shall they receive our mercy or our ire, as the wealth of Respublica shall best require. Now, adulation. What saith you in this case?
Not in mine excuse. Submit me to your grace. Only this, I promise, if I may mercy find, utterly forever to change my wicked mind. I never sought afore mine own private gain so much, but I will further commonweal's 10 times so much.
Well, thou mayest become a worthy subject, it is plain.
Else you know at all times how to reach me again.
Thou mightest swerve of frailty, thou mightst do to please. Thou mightst do for fear, thou mightst do to live in ease. Well, upon thy promise, for once, we pardon thee. Go, and see that from henceforth thou be perfect honesty.
So long as shall please God to give me life and heal, I shall most duly serve God and the commonweal. Now to thee, Avarice, have at thy petticoat.
Now, the plague of commonweals, as all men do note. Come forth, Avarice. To spare thee will be no boot. Thou must be plucked up, e'en by the very roots, because thou scrapest up whatever thou mightst get.
Indeed, I thank God there is no man in my debt.
And because thou caught'st it by wrong contribution, thou shalt first and foremost make restitution.
Let me then, with pardon, go hence about it lightly.
No! You shall have help to see it done uprightly. People, take this fellow.
God save me from this plunge.
That he may be pressed as men do press a sponge, that he may drop aught to every man his lot, to the utmost farthing that he hath falsely got.
Bid me, she'll squeeze him as dry as a kix.
Nay, the passion of God, I shall then die of the flicks.
Nay, thou shalt deliver him to the head officer, which hath authority, justice, to minister.
She'll deliver him to the constable and come again.
Now, justice, for these two that do here remain, because the fault of insolence is heinous and great, Lucifer's own fault to aspire to the highest seat, and because oppression hath wronged men so sore that he spoiled innocence of all they had and more, people shall deliver them unto safe custody, where they may no farther annoy anybody. When the time may serve to examine and try their cause, call them both before you, and judge them by the laws.
Shalt carry away these same 2 men also?
Yea, go deliver them to an officer, go. Now, darling Respublica, you're in the old good estate, and they taken away that spoiled you of late. Now cleave to these ladies, from heaven to you direct. They from all corruption will you safe protect. Well, I must go hence to another country now, that hath of redress the like case that was in you. I leave you for this time, immortal thanks to give to God your sovereign, which do you thus relieve.
Thanks be to thee, O Lord, which hast this world wrought, and hast me to this state from utter ruin brought.
Now let us all together, both with heart and voice, in God and in Queen Mary, most joyfully rejoice.
Praying that her reign most graciously begun may long years endure, as hitherto it hath done.
Pray we for her counsel to have long life and health, this sovereign to serve.
And to maintain commonwealth.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen, and everyone sings a lovely jolly tune, and thus ends the play. Okay, so
Ave Maria.
to a large degree, this session, I don't think necessarily advances our sense of the play more than it did last time, except in one fundamental question that I don't know if we raised on camera or not, but it is the question of the final act of the play introduces an additional 4 or 5 characters to the play, and can we find a way of quietly cutting down or double? I mean, earlier we can double them. Up to this point, we can double those additional characters, and then we can't. So we need to look at questions of, can we elide some of them? It's like, do we need Misericordia to come back again? Because, Donald, you didn't seem to say pretty much bugger all.
Less than bugger all, I think.
Yeah. So Misericordia did contribute earlier, and that could therefore double with somebody else, because at that point in the play, we had spare bodies. So I'm wondering whether Misericordia can be referenced but doesn't need to come back on. I mentioned earlier, I know that there's a very brief exchange at the end, but could it be that Nemesis is effectively the hat that Respublica puts on, that they dress her and take her off, and it's just, you put on your justice hat? Sarah?
Yeah, I was looking out for that because you'd mentioned it before, and I actually think that would be super fun if she puts on her justice hat, and especially if she's been playing it as I was describing it yesterday, sort of quite ditzy, and then she puts on this justice hat and suddenly turns into this virago, mites out justice. I think that could be super fun actually for the actor playing the role, and it would give the role a bit of variety as well, and it makes sense. I mean, it doesn't, I don't think it would be awkward because they barely say anything to each other.
It's only at the very end, and I think you can just tweak the line so that she just takes her justice hat off and, and becomes terribly nice again. And of course, we've got physical business that we can't see, that we get the pressing of Avarice and all his money bags, drained away, and that could actually be quite a prolonged sequence of basically line of dialogue. Everyone ignores him. There could be something grossly absurd about what's going on at that point. And we can do you could do some stuff with masks as well, maybe to move stuff around. And I do wonder if we can elide those. We've got 3 ladies now. We need to somehow elide down. I feel we could. There is a bit of a debate about who's right about judging people at the end. I mean, Keith. Veritas had some opinions, and there was a bit of a back and forth with Justice. But I kind of wonder, do we need everyone there? Keith?
Well, I think you do need some balance, because Veritas seems almost reluctantly to concede that mercy is a part of the justice process, having been very absolute up to this point. What we see with the other vices is effectively some form of mid-Tudor deferred enforcement agreement, now, as now so popular with the customs and excise. And then Nemesis stomps off stage saying, I'm going somewhere where I'm rather more needed, I'm leaving you to it, which is, I mean, possibly that could be cut because it's a questionable line anyway. But there does need to be some balance between the absolute virtue of wringing Avarice like a sponge and the more pragmatic solution dealt with in terms of sort of keeping the state on the straight and narrow. I think it's very, very interesting that the vices all have 2 names.
Yeah, because they've got their fake personas that they've carefully arranged in the first 2/3 of the play. Sarah,
I seem to recall I said this when we finished off this play the first time round, but I still think you could do this with puppets, or not necessarily puppets in the conventional sense of the word, but like if you double cast the three ladies with the three vices, then they could come on as the ladies at the end, and they could have sort of, not necessarily stringed puppets, but they could have glove puppets, or they could have I was thinking of something like like paper figures, like that you get in sort of Pollock's toy theatre type miniature theatres on like slides. They could have sort of like small paper, not actual paper, but like engravings of themselves in their costumes, in their vice costumes, and then they could just switch voices, from one to the other. And if they were small, I mean, not like tiny miniature theatre figures, but if they were sort of like only about sort of, I don't know, a couple of feet high at most, it would kind of be quite fun, because it would be this idea that those characters have kind of shrunk down in importance, and you've got these giant ladies of, peace and mercy and justice, who are actually like, doling out, well, I was going to say doling out retribution, but restoring order and balance.
Well, I think we could do it in a more conventional sense, maybe with masks, certainly with costuming. That I suspect if we go through the scene and break bits of it apart and reorder it, that you could have effectively the defendants come out, make their case, or turn on each other, which is what vices do, and then careful manoeuvrings can have people changing and into the other ladies, who then give judgment, and that thus ends the play. I think you could probably manoeuvre that to a degree and maintain the number of characters, but their presence would be very complicated. But hey, I like complicated. It's doable, I think, on some level, to go for that minute. I mean, obviously, if you've got an extraneous number of people who are quite happy to do nothing for 2 hours, and you're happy to pay them, then you can just do a full cast. Keith, you were waving.
Yes. Sarah's idea started my brain running, because I was once in a production of Hamlet where Ophelia was dealt with on a very similar basis in order to keep the budget down, and was manipulated at carefully selected turns by Claudius, Polonius, and Gertrude. She was a sort of combination between a stick puppet and a marionette. And the wonderful thing about these is you can design the bodies underneath as emblematic of the vice or virtue, so that when it comes to the stripping of these figures, I mean, you have to invest a lot in that design, but it can be extremely telling theatrically.
Yes, and of course, these are emblematic figures, so you could, that kind of design work is... I should have done that earlier, but never mind, I couldn't find it at the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was literally, I don't know if anyone else saw me going, where have I put it? I thought we were fine with Respublica, and God's sake, I'm mid-Tudor. But anyway, I think I said last time that there is obviously a very simple solution, which is you just have one actor playing all of the ladies, and following that seminal text that we're all naturally instantly leaning towards, the 1980s Transformers animated movie. You just simply have the rotating heads justice robot that it will personify all four ladies, and they all automatically go guilty, and then you have a 1980s music montage, and that's obviously how you do it.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain I said that last time, but it's worth a repeat. It's worth a repeat. Classic film to introduce your children to the concept.
I think you killed Keith with it, though.
Sole purpose of visit. Okay, anybody got anything new they want to add before I close the session? Aliki.
I'm not sure that I probably did say this last time if I was here last time, but generally I'm not a fan of altering early modern texts, but this would alter so well. This would update so beautifully. And yeah, that's all.
Yes, and we did discuss this because you had to leave before we finished last time. We did have a lot of discussion about that because it could do with a trim. It could do with. I think you'd be quite playful with this one, and I think the text will take it.
Yeah.
In a way that maybe blank verse wouldn't, actually, weirdly. I think there's something about breaking some of the unrelenting rhyming couplets might not inherently be a bad thing. And as I say, you could be playful with it, and I think the play would take it. I do think as morality plays go, it is an incredibly effective one. And yeah, as Aliki just said, it's full of stuff that's really applicable today.
It's really on the nose, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not like people try to rob the state and line their own pockets anymore. I mean, so I'm so glad we all now live in this wonderful future where everything's lovely, and that's not a problem. And I'm not even going to go. It's fine. It's fine. You can just put the hand down. It's fine. We know you. We know. You don't need to say it. It's fine. We know. Unless you have something fundamentally new to say, I'll go to Alan.
Well, I must admit, I was picturing Avarice as being played as a languid old Etonian.
And again, I said we didn't need to go there, and we did anyway. It's like never mind. It's like I don't know why I speak sometimes. Okay, all that remains is to thank all the wonderful readers for all their wonderful reading. Thank you very much, everyone, and goodbye. This is a naughty elf.